Well, sorry for another clickbaity title. You got to play the game, haven't you? Welcome to Lion Rock again with me and the boy, Super Midgie. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but there's flipping loads of them, so I'm going to send him away because he attracts loads. Go on over there, boy. Go on. Now, the clickbait title. What is it? Are these the perfect ML boot? Well, I mean, sorry to say that there is a spoiler that there is no perfect ML boot, is there? There's what works for you. Now, this is what I used to wear for years and years, like various versions of these, the Sportiva, Trango, something. Don't think they make them anymore, but they make similar things in the Trango family. They're a stiff boot, they bend a little bit, but not a lot. Like, they bend just that little bit. They take a crampon, so they're not going to bend much, are they? Gore-Tex lined, nice and high. Now, don't get me wrong, they're comfortable, unlike this spot I'm sitting on, it's going up my butt, but they're not that comfortable. They're only not comfortable when you try other things that are more like a trainer kind of thing. When I say trainer in the mountains, I kind of mean approach shoes, but they're just like outdoorsy trainers really that are a bit tougher, and maybe they've got better soles in terms of stickiness. Now, the one I've been wearing for yonkies is this La Sportiva TX4 Mid Gore-Tex. Mouthful these names, aren't they, right? Now, bear in mind, these have been worn a while. Bought those green ones with my own money. Bought these ones with my own money as well. I probably got them on a discount, but I did buy them with my own cold hard cash. Bendy as a bendy thing, right? They are like wearing chunky trainers that happen to have a little bit of ankle, which doesn't really offer much support, realistically. None of them do, studies show, but they do stop bogs going over the cuff into my feet. That's the main thing I care about in the UK mountains. The weather at the moment is ridiculous. Even the bogs are like beaches at the moment, but in normal circumstances I don't want wet feet. These help me keep dry feet. These lasted really well, and they've actually still got some life in. Just the waterproofness, the Gore-Tex lining has like properly failed, so they don't really keep water out for very long. But if the weather was like this and I was doing a rocky route, Trevan, whatever, I'm not going through bogs, these would still be ideal. They've still got some tread left, like not shed loads, but they don't have loads to start with. Really sticky rubber. I've scrambled in these, I've done easy climbs in these. They fit me very, very well, and I find them extremely comfortable. The laces are rubbish, probably because they get damp and stuff, I suppose, and then I dry them on the radiator and stuff like I shouldn't. But they have lasted ridiculously well, apart from the laces. There's still life left in them. They did a couple of years, which I think for a boot that's used a lot is phenomenal. Not the only boot I have, but it's very good. Downsides of them. The tread, maybe. There's not like loads of it. So I'm thinking like the wet grassy stuff. Like these Unparalleled rock guides, they have a classic dotty sole on them, like old 510 tennies did back in the day. These are very similar, the Unparalleled rock guides. The TX4 sole is better than them in terms of grippiness on wet stuff, but not by a massive amount, I suppose. The sole on these kind of things, deeper lugs, more grippy. Any other disadvantages? Honestly, I don't think there is really, like I say, other than the aforementioned laces. They've been really good to me. I wore these on so many MLs and they were my boot of choice. As soon as I started wearing these, I did not wear those green things, unless these were like soaking wet and I wanted dry feet. I might put those on the next day, the green ones on the next day. But I love them, and I would have bought another pair of exactly the same boot, same size and everything. But Outside, who support the channel, kindly sent me these. Now these ones are Scarpa Mescalito Mid Gore-Texes. I think that's the right waffle of or mouthful rather. They're very similar to those TX4s. I'm not going to quote weights and stuff because you can Google all this stuff, but they are a bit heavier, right? I've worn them now for a couple of weeks, including every day last week or this week just gone on a mountain leader course. And I like the mountain leader courses for testing stuff because I've walked through wet stuff, although it's not as wet as normal. I have still like plodded through a few streams and stuff. I've walked up hills like grassy slopes and scree and that stuff. I've scrambled on proper rocky stuff, like up to grade 1, but you know, they've stuck really well and all that kind of thing. So they've had a what I would consider a pretty good all-round test this last couple of weeks, and I really like them. The short version is, right, that out of these two, I would buy whatever fits best. And I say that because I've had so many messages on Instagram and Facebook of which is better and stuff. I don't think there is really one better than the other. It's going to come down to fit. The Scarpas, I think, are just a little bit wider. Well, not I think, I know, because I've tried them on like on different feet at the same time kind of thing. There's a little bit less volume in the TX4s, and these are a little bit wider. And that's kind of, that's why you've got to try these things on. You know, you shouldn't buy these just because I wear them and I like them. You should go and try them on first. I tend to be pretty happy in most boots really, so whilst those TX4s I think fit me a fraction better, I'm going to wear these and be really happy. They don't give you blisters and they're not uncomfortable or anything like that, but they are a bit wider. Whilst these ones, yeah, they're both boots, aren't they? Like mid boots, not high boots, but they're both mid boots. I would say that this is a fraction more trainer than boot, and this is a fraction more boot than trainer, but they're both so similar. I say that because one, they're that little bit heavier, little bit stiffer. Bear in mind they've been worn a lot, but these I think are just a little bit chunkier in general. I find them quite a lot stiffer in this back bit. They're like the cup around the heel, but plodding around them, they've been super comfy straight out the box. They're Gore-Tex, so they're waterproof. They have been waterproof. I can't comment on the long-term waterproofness because obviously I haven't had them that long. The sole, I think, is a bit better. So I think actually the sole is probably better suited to our UK conditions where we do have that wet grassy stuff and turfy stuff and muddy stuff. There's just a bit more depth to it, and if it's the right word, a touch more aggressive, but it's still ridiculously sticky. This bit, well, the whole thing sticks to rock really well, but especially that like climbing zone that they call it often, that's really good. It's got the rand around it, same as that. It's got a bit you can clip to your harness if you're mountaineering and needed to put rock shoes on, same as that. The laces, I think you can get like a slightly better amount of fine tuning just because they go right down to the toe, and because like I said, they're a little bit wide for my feet. I found that quite useful to be able to do them up right down to the bottom, which you don't get in quite the same way on the TX4. I don't really like wearing stiff boots anymore unless I need to, as in I've got to wear crampons. Different people have different opinions. This is only my opinion, the same as all these videos. But on a mountain leader course, when I'm working, I am not going to wear this. If I was working a day out as a mountain leader, we all used to do things like plodding up here with her back there in big stiff boots like this. These days I just think, why did we do that? They're stiffer, they're more uncomfortable. What was the advantage? Honestly, I just don't know. Put it in the comments below if you've got an advantage. It could be a personal preference thing of that. Like I say, you might prefer a stiffer fit. You might find they last longer. I'm not sure they do, to be honest. But I love soft boots like that, right? I really do. Each step, I'm wasting less energy. I shouldn't say wasting, it's a nice day out, isn't it? I'm expending less energy would be a better way to put it. Because they're lighter than the big heavy boots. My feet are less tired at the end of the day. My whole body's less tired at the end of the day. What I do find with these, whilst they are stiff and you can edge really well in them, they're by no means terrible on dry rock. They've still got a good sticky bit up here, and this is all pretty grippy. I find these kind of things pretty horrible on wet rock, if I'm honest. And I think it's because the sole is still relatively grippy, but I think they just don't mould to the rock, whereas these soft things, especially once they're broken in like these, they really mould to the rock and get like maximum sort of contact with them. That's my opinion. Soft boots, at least worth a go. On a day on Trivan, even on an ML course, I could be tempted to wear a trainer like this if I knew it was going to be rocky. The ankle support thing, I just don't really care about that, if I'm honest, because you get so little support unless it's like ski boot stiff. That's been shown by like research, as I mentioned. The downside is I am going to get wet feet, aren't I? As soon as these things see a bog, there's no lining or anything, and it's going to, if I misjudge the depth, I'm getting wet feet. If I've got to do a stream crossing, I'm definitely getting wet feet. All those kind of things. Anyway, waffle over. The Mescalitos, like I say, they were given to me by Outside, so big thanks for them. I try, when I do these reviews and chats, I try not to be biased by stuff like that. And I think it's fair to say I'm hopefully showing I'm not biased, because out of these two, which I paid for and didn't pay for, whichever fits you best, and there's loads of other brands on as well. So what I'm saying is these are on sale at the moment for insert price here, but I think it's £149. Maybe I have to bleep that out and edit it. £149 Outside. I'll put a link in the description below. I'm not sure what they are these days. They're more than that though, as is the retail of course for those. But there's tons of other brands as well, so go to a good shop like Outside and try them on. And if you're used to using these stiff boots in the summer stuff, honestly, try out some softer ones. I hope that was of interest. I'm aware I waffled on quite a bit. I've got to go because these midges are doing my head in now, making me itchy. They flipping love me. I've got some good bites already. Fire away with questions though and comments and stuff. I'm always happy to hear them. Honestly, I am. As always though, massive thanks for the support. If you want to support us further, click the like button, smash the subscribe button, find us on Insta, find us on Facebook, use the buy me a coffee link there. The support is massively appreciated. It always is. The dog looks like he's ready for his dinner. He's sniffing in the direction of home, which isn't far away. As always, massive thanks for watching. More videos coming up very soon.